Sweet it is to be among the righteous. How sweet it is to be able to voice and speak and call on your divine creator. How beautiful it is. La ilaha illallah.
I mean, here. I'm saying that if nobody don't want to be on, it's all love and peace and positivity. But it's your right and free will.
Well, I'm set my phone on mute. I don't want no interference.
We open in the name of Allah. It's a beautiful blessing to have this wisdom on hand. That I'm happy to be able to present. Lone strife and lone seeking with those who stop.
Right on. Beautiful. Let it be said, brother. Come on with it.
Yes. Oh, truth already said it. I'm just repeating truth.
Right on, brother.
Those who
Speak
stop.
the truth. Repeat the truth.
All right, yes. Those who stop seeking don't know.
That's right.
They don't know what they stopped seeking if they didn't attain. And they put roadblocks, detours all in the way.
Yeah.
They didn't want us to get to this mighty truth. And what Allah brought to me, I bring to you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
This is the gift of all.
Oh, yes.
It's not for
all.
Yes, some or a few. This wisdom is for all. Because all is self. Because all is self. We've spoke on the great law. In the Moorish tongue, the great law.
The great law, not the crooked law. What the USA have to offer you, not the Department of Justice, because you can't get that. And look how they treat you at the Department of Justice. Some can get it, some can't. I said go on and close the doors because it's not justice for all, but justice for those who make it. That's what our topic is, the law. Ain't that beautiful? I mean, you can't get it no sweeter than that. We've been to talk about law, the real law.
The real law.
Not the imposter law or that old legality law or that old municipal court law or that old judiciary law, but that old supreme law, not that law. We talking about a greater law. Let it be known and let it be said today.
Man, that's a great elder get that.
Oh, yeah. But we don't let the beautiful sister start it off. Because we miss her so bad.
Yes, beautiful.
We at KOS don't say the woman remains silent or king don't have anything to say. We don't do that around here. She speak the truth. She has to speak the truth as well. She has a mouth.
Oh, we finna see right here.
Right on, brother.
Truth expressed.
Sister 31, the law. Al-Sufian.
Al-Sufian.
One, oh, you believe, let it be said, Al-Sufian, the rule, the truth, the law.
Look at him. The rule, the truth, the law. Let's set the record straight.
Uh-oh.
Today.
This is the truth. We're talking about the truth. Y'all know this is what I live for, to find the greatest truth.
Beautiful,
So,
beautiful.
This is, like I'm saying, my gift. This ain't, everybody don't have to adhere to whatever.
That's right.
But this is the gift that was given.
Mm-hmm.
And if you accept this gift, then you accept the gift from the Creator.
Right on.
Because the truth shall be known.
Right on.
And the truth should set us free.
Right on, brother.
And man, there's so much power going into this lesson right here.
It is. And I want to say this here before she go any further. They on Capitol Hill making all kind of rules. But they're the wrong rules, because if it ain't of divine rules, then it's the devil rules. I want to be clear, crystal clear today, and point out things that we need to know.
Oh yes, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's just.
But in the younger generation right now,
Come on with it, sister.
rules is a problem for them.
This showing up there. They need to have some discipline about themselves and obedience.
They don't want rules. Okay.
Mm-mm.
They know the rules. See, they only seeing the rules that the government in Capitol Hill is.
Yeah, in school, that's right.
They know those are wrong.
Yeah.
But they haven't heard anything about
Divine
rules,
right on.
law, and why that's an importance. Why is it an importance? to
Yeah.
have rules? Because at this point they are just living their life very reckless out there.
Mm-hmm.
No type of moral system, no type of guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I would ask, what would y'all think is the important? What would you say to the youth for as in wise law or rule is important in their life?
well, I'll say this here, because can you imagine living in a world with no rules, no discipline? Can you imagine that? Living in a world with no rules, no truth, no discipline, and no obedience. You think you have trouble. You wouldn't be able to walk out your door. So I can't stress how important rules are. Some of them call them commandments and all, but you got to have law and order. The right law, not the wrong law. And one more other thing I like to say, that what I not observed, that man and woman who sits in high places, they make rules against the divine creator. And that's wrongful and unjust. Y'all think you done forgot who created you and who gave you holy breath. Not breath, but just holy breath, and you now want to make rules against your divine creator. Go ahead, sister.
It's so much power into understanding.
Mm-hmm.
If you starting from a youthful perspective, then all you have is people around you.
Yeah.
And in today's age, you have technology in your life, so you get to see a little bit more of others.
That's beautiful.
But
well said.
When it comes to words, words is very powerful when it comes to the youth, because they can be freed by words.
That's right.
And when words are not spoken, just as this word was not spoken to me, as we come into the word, it's important. The word divine law. This has not been known on the American land.
That's correct.
I wouldn't care who says it, because no one ain't said it.
That's right.
They call it God's law.
Yep.
And they ain't got nowhere but the people that making rules and rules.
Right on.
They not educating the people on correct and the highest law.
Right on, brother.
So when we're talking about what everyone is under. We wouldn't care if you're a sheep, or if you're a beast, or if you're an angel, or you're a devil.
Right on.
We talking about all are subordinate.
Right on.
All are equal to this right here. So it wouldn't matter what seat or authority you participate in.
Beautiful.
It could be the governor, could be the king, it could be the queen.
Beautiful.
Everyone is subordinate to this law.
Mm-hmm.
So this ain't taught because people either cut their own arm off,
mm-hmm.
or they stop and not use their head to keep going forward.
Yeah.
Because this is very important to understand. Divine law has been taken out and rewrote and put as God's law.
Right on. Right on.
And God's law is what most people say is the highest law on the land.
Beautiful.
Because I asked someone, what is the highest law on the land?
Mm-hmm.
And as an elder adult,
yeah,
they have an answer, but they can't listen. So we saying that the highest law is called God's law in the way that it's been told to our people that's older.
Mm-hmm.
But that word is not a divine word. We think God is a divine word.
Come on with it, son.
God is not no divine word.
Come on with it.
So when you say God's law, that's not saying anything.
Look at him.
So until we have stand corrected and stand firm
Mm-hmm.
with what the great sister and I was speaking on, which is precision.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
The precision point.
Mm-hmm.
The precision point begins with divine law.
Mm-hmm.
So God's law is called divine law.
Beautiful.
And divine law is in reference to the great law.
Beautiful.
If we understand the divine law, this is where everything in the whole universe falls right into precision.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what is called the truth. Now, if we into scholarship, this is not just something to read. This is ancient. That goes predate Christian era. That predate the post-Quran Islam era.
Mm-hmm.
What we have is pre-Islam.
Right on. Right on.
This is Sufian.
Beautiful.
No one haven't even heard this word since the last Sufian came, and that has been erased.
Right on.
We only know of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And Christ brought this law, but no one know what the law was.
Beautiful.
He said that if you know the truth,
Ooh.
and if we look at number 2, it tells you the truth.
The truth, that's what he said.
And it said, if you know this, you shall be free.
Free. Free, free.
You shall be free.
Right on.
This is how powerful knowledge is.
Right on.
And this is why all of us gotta ask, have we heard of the word divine law before now?
No, we haven't. Nor never heard of it.
So who has been hiding? Because
Oh.
this been in existence since before the Bible came into existence.
And the only way you travel and go and you see on the building, the only thing you will see attorney at law, and that's it. You see that everywhere, attorney at law, and that's the only law that you see that displays on windows. And you ride down the street and you pass a building, and that's what you'll see. Attorney at law.
An attorney at law. And see, that's all the detour.
That's what it is.
And that's all what we have to understand. Roadblocks and obstacles to make you fall over on the stumbling block.
Yes, indeed.
Those are stumbling blocks.
Yes, indeed.
And we have stumbled.
Yes, indeed.
We think we are walking in the eyes. This has to be said because our youth, as she mentioned, they are pulling out guns now.
Yeah, that's
and they are pulling out on each other.
Yeah, boy, that's bad.
And never in society has it been this bad where the youth has picked up
Guns.
weapons on each other.
Yeah.
Ain't no generation did this.
Yeah.
So now we at a time where this is the borderline.
Yeah. This is borderline.
And this is what all has to know.
Yeah.
This cannot be silenced by any secret society.
Right on.
They operating from this, but they ain't telling their subjects of this.
Yes.
So
indeed.
now the cat, as we would say, is out the bag.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
This is why they robbed robbed us of KOS.
Yeah.
Because now the cat will be in the hat. But now the cat is out the bag.
Out the bag. Mm-hmm.
It's divine law that's governing the whole universe.
Whole universe, right on.
Man and all living species included.
Right on.
Don't matter if you're in a higher rank or the lower rank.
Right on.
We talking about one law.
That's right. Divine law at that.
And that's why it's divine.
That's right.
Because it's for all.
That's right.
And all is self. And self, as we read in our lesson on the Sufa.
Right.
The self is the one.
Mm-hmm.
So the one law that covers all law.
All law. That's right.
And that's divine law.
Right on.
And no governors, preachers, candidates, or legislators. I'm glad you said that word.
Yeah, I got to say
that word is a very powerful word that we need to say.
Because that's what they use to trap us.
Legislator, and they are not using Rex. Say quorum.
Mm.
See, they using legislator, which is legal writing.
Yeah.
So now instead of using law, they using legal.
Look at the trap.
And now this is what has trapped.
Put us in a trap.
And make it seem like all is lawful. Because
is.
something is legal.
Right on.
So legislators are the legal makers.
Yeah.
They the ones making their own devilish laws legal.
Call it a bill at that.
They call it a bill.
When it finished, the finished product, they call it a bill.
And I'm glad you bring
How about
that?
Now that's a trap.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's in all relation to what's being said. That's why we have to really know.
Right on.
That's why I'm making sure we don't press fast.
That's right.
Because you can time travel right through this.
That's right.
And miss the whole scenery.
Beautiful.
Of existence. This is why you in existence, because divine law exists.
Right on.
If it was not, you would be not.
Right on.
So we have to understand this is the deepest where it said that framed the universe.
Right on.
What they call wisdom.
Yeah.
Where it says wisdom has established the earth.
Yeah.
Understanding is its pillars.
Mm-hmm.
This is where all of us are equal. And once we come into the understanding, it don't matter what has been said prior. Mm-hmm. Pictures on movies, tongues of racism, anything that was called white supremacy.
Yeah.
This right now is called equal superiority.
Right on.
Now we are all equal with superior knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the superior knowledge.
And I just want to say that when we was talking about legislature and you broke that down and just what legislature is all about, when they wrote the Constitution, the so-called European, when they wrote the Constitution of the United States of America, this is what they put in there. They took the original man and made him 3/5 of a man, another human being, 3/5 of a man, while he be 5/5 of a man, and did that to you, and they call that law, and they call this justice. And we shouldn't take another breath without confronting that and straighten that out, because as a matter of fact, that don't even comply to us. It complies to the one who made the rule. So if you're going to say that we 3/5 of a man, that should include you, but not us. Because the original man he come whole, not half. not 3/5, but whole as one, not two halves. You don't see you cut in half, you come as a whole.
And that's why they say holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
And they're talking 3 times.
And let me say this one thing before I close. I won't be closing, but I'm talking about stop talking. And she said what we say to the young generation. Young generation, if they're out there on internet land, make haste and come to KOS, which stands for knowledge of self and the cosmos, and learn of you who you really are, where you can come under a true rule, the truth and the law.
Mm-hmm. And in the Constitution, back to what you were referring to, because we at the state of time right now. We at the state of emergency for our mental, not to be in mental suicide.
That's right.
Our people will be converted into mental suicide because this is the statistics from European science. They are suicidal.
That's right.
So now if you adopt the mental philosophy, you now have their psychology.
Right
and
on.
built in their psychology is suicide.
Beautiful.
So we have to understand when evildoers have now became the publishers of your literature, publishers of your announcements,
come on with it.
Publishers of your media outlets,
come on
publishers
with it.
of all your technology. We must understand where the line is drawn.
Yeah.
So the line is drawn is where the line unites divinity and matter.
Yes.
This is what has not been done. When you say 3/5,
yeah,
that is denying the line that unites.
Right on.
Divinity and matter.
You right on.
So no man can be 3/5, and whoever told you must be 3/5.
Got to be.
Because all is equal.
Right on.
So what he say that you are, he is what he said.
That's right.
So it don't apply to you.
Mm-hmm.
It applies to himself.
Yeah.
What anybody say, they ain't saying to you. They saying to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they can get you to believe.
Yeah.
This is why we have the cosmology. When you mention the cosmos.
Oh, yes.
To have knowledge of self, you got to have knowledge of the cosmos.
Beautiful.
Cosmos is short for cosmology.
Beautiful.
They never gave the black man and black woman the cosmology of the black man and the black woman. So when we're talking about the Al-Sufian, this is the divine cosmology that includes your divine mind, your divine will, and your divine self.
Yes, indeed.
This was before religion became monstrous.
Right on.
And so now everything in the well has been dirty.
Yes, indeed.
So the physical well has been dirtied up.
Yes.
The only well left is what created the whole universe.
Right on.
This is what is pure steel.
Right on.
While every part has failed, this one whole is still whole.
Now come to the law.
And all we gotta do is to know.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we tap in. Y'all heard the youth say tap in.
Tap in.
So to tap in, that means going in.
But
what you tapping on? You tapping on that knowledge.
Right
you
on.
got to tap in to that knowledge.
Yes, indeed.
So you can know the ledge, the line that divines.
Beautiful.
The line that divines.
Beautiful.
The line that unites divinity and matter.
Beautiful.
See, and this is what we're reading, and this is the truth that Jesus was speaking on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as Jesus was letting that be known 2,000 years ago, to this day, which is a opposite in reverse, we in 2,000 years.
Beautiful.
So if we don't know time and prophecy, and we don't know the power of our call,
beautiful.
We have called on the truth, and the truth has appeared. And the time is now for you to abort.
Oh, yes.
For all callers,
it
said, you know your voice.
Yes, indeed.
You know your voice.
Right on.
So all souls know that voice
yes,
when it comes to what is supposed to be said, what it sounds like, what it resonates with, what it feels like. We know this is all positivity. So when it comes to, this is what has been unknown to Malachi, unknown to Noble Drew Ali, unknown to Elijah Muhammad, unknown to this day.
Right on.
Because if it was known, they would have said it.
They would have said it. And I don't hear what's coming off preaching from the pulpit and on the air. I don't hear that coming off their tongue. That's why I know. That's when you know. If you know the truth, you will know of the false prophets and the false speakers. And this is what I hear. You ain't fooling me. You might be fooling others, but you ain't fooling me. Because now I know. And when you know, you know.
There you go. That's why the word now and the word no, the K can become silent, is now.
Now.
So this is the power of knowledge. It's instantaneous. This is what the whole world been missing. They've been fed objects that's fast, but they ain't never instantaneous. Even a microwave ain't faster than instantaneous.
Right on.
You can't fry nothing quicker than instantaneous. Not even an air fryer. We're talking about this is the mighty rule. This is the rule. You in the Bible say the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. This is what we're talking about here. This is the rule of rules.
Right on.
The law of laws. The being of beings. This is why the natural world we call the dunya exists.
Beautiful.
All us in it. This is why we exist.
Yes,
we are called here for a duty and a purpose.
Right on.
Don't let the slayers take you away.
Right on.
And then we're going to get into some more deeper science as the beautiful greatness take us forward.
3. In the 29th name of Allah.
29.
The infinite, the unique, the all-knowing.
The all-knowing.
The source, the well of all form, meaning, and rule.
Woo-wee.
Now we got to take each one.
The source.
We got to take each one.
The source.
The source.
You done turn to Capitol Hill for the source. That's not the source. That's not the true source. You done turned to the voting polls in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and that's not the source. I just got to speak it today.
This is why it got to be powerful. Everything you're going to speak.
All that have failed us. How long we been running to the voting polls? Oh, and by the way, the word vote means to take a vow to those who put it out there. And now you taking a vow and you don't realize it. And that's what you taking a vow to the Republican Party and the Democratic Party and those who set up their system. Because once upon a time, that wasn't. Let's start at the beginning. Because everything you see got a beginning to it.
That's the point. That's why I'm here.
Right on, brother.
Because the beginning point ain't been solved.
Right on.
So you call it God.
Yeah.
That's wrong. And that's what most people would tell me. And that's what I'm saying. That's wrong. So when I'm saying science has to be included, well, the tone will be coming. But this is why the tone can come. When people understand that it's a science that has to be included. We have to understand our wrongs.
Yeah.
If we don't understand where you are dishonest with yourself.
That's right.
Everyone thought they found the answer when they found the answer as the 3-letter word, G-O-D.
G-O-D, yeah.
they stop there.
Yep.
And then they pray to this word.
Yep. Sure do.
So this comes to deep belief right here.
On this word.
And that's how you trick a soul into slavery, through deep belief. So now this is a spell that is now being broken before the New Year's Day. So everyone is free, not from just preaching.
Right on.
We saying the doctrine is on the screen for you to see yourself, for you to screenshot, for you to read if you can't understand the words. But this is for you to understand. Now, you gonna read, she gonna read. I'm gonna help you understand.
Right on, man. She read. Right on. So this needs to be
This is what I have spent my life for myself.
Beautiful.
And as I found the gift say, bring it to all.
Beautiful.
So the 29th name of Allah is the 29th date. So in the source, when we talking about the source, we talking about what truly is Allah, make no mistakes. What people have called God, they have referred to that as the source.
That's right.
And that is not the source. So all these years, all these teachings, all these, anything related to teachings have been false. And if your heart has been engraved by these false teachings, you have to be honest within yourself at this moment of time. 2024 is kicking off. The 24 elders is all watching.
It's time to cook it up.
And if you about that life, meaning if you about that truth, it's time to be live. So it's time to unlearn the deep belief.
Beautiful.
And understand you came to be life. And this is the source that all of us come from. So the source is not God.
That's right.
As we was told in ancient scholarship, for those who understand death, for those who went into the scholarship of the dead, they call it the book of the dead.
Yeah, I just want to point one thing out, and I'm going to make it short. As a witness to what you just said about the word, the 3-letter word, God, all the elders, that's all they ever said was God. And every now and then the word Jehovah will come in, because that was from the Kingdom Hall that he had a name, and that's what they would call him. But in Christianity, they didn't say Jehovah. And the only time you heard Allah is from Islam. But be as it may, all our elders that I grew up with when I was a young boy, that's all they ever said was God. But our condition, as we call on God, it never did change. It got worse and worse. And you fast forward today, everybody calling on the word God and Jesus, and our condition is worsening and worsening and worsening. So I'm just pointing out, it's so true to what you said, because we don't have it right yet.
And that's why the search been on. Because that's what you said early in the beginnings. We need truth. We done had it all. What we didn't have was truth.
That's what it was. All along. That's what it was.
So the search began. And this is the final episode.
Yep.
what you ask for, you shall receive. Now, if you're ready for it or not, don't ask if you're not ready. Because when it comes forth, it's coming forth. The Creator exists. This is why I'm here to tell the Creator exists. The proof gonna be in the pudding by the existence of the evidence.
Right on.
So you don't hear it just by mouth.
That's right.
You see it by sight.
Right on.
They say, leave evil, join unto righteousness.
Depart from evil.
We talking about the law here. Man has claimed himself to pray to God. And God is the source. If you have this word, this is abracadabra, in other words. It's supposed to cure all your ailments.
Right on.
And as the great elder said, disease upon disease upon disease.
Worse than worse.
Worse and worse and worse.
Worse and worse.
How can that be?
How can that be? Something ain't right.
If our source is pure,
Beautiful.
then that word must be dirty.
Oh, my. There ain't nothing else but that. Insufficient.
The insufficiency of knowledge. That was a stumbling block. As we see, this goes right in line with ancient scholarship. This comes from the ancient book of the dead that they will say in English. But the Peru is from the ancient Kemites. So when we're talking about how they taught, how they laid it down, and then how it's translated in English, we get a word that we come to called heka. Most people, if you are a scholar into scholarship, you know of this word because you got to study Egypt. And then when you study Egypt, you come into, this is what they said is the most powerful word. So when you come, so this is what secret societies has been hiding. They come from the ancient order of Egyptian order.
That's what they said.
So when they come in with the word, this is what they say, the master's word. Meaning the master have the word. And this is why you climb in the degrees to get to the master, to get the lost word.
Right on.
That was from Hiram Abiff.
Right on.
No one knows that lost word. Have they forgot to search? That was the truth. And since that lost word, you ain't heard it since. They replaced it with God. Now they giving you Jehovah. But now you're going to understand how all that is false. And that anything that goes in your heart that is false, make your heart false. The heart is to guide you away from false, not to accept falsehood.
Right on.
So when we're talking about it's some cleaning up to do, and that honesty is the first medicine. Not taking a pill or going seeing the doctor.
That's right.
Honesty. This is why people that are in eldership or elderhood are sick.
That's so true.
Because God is a dirty word.
And that makes so much sense.
This is why man has called himself even God. Showing you the filth that man has become by not understanding, but proclaiming something. Being something and saying something is two totally different.
Totally different.
We talking about the divine law is a being, not a saying.
I just want to say one thing before we start back up. I want to point something out. We call on God. The Christian call God, and the kingdom haulers, which is the witness, they call on Jehovah. But yet, all I see from both parties, nothing but obesity and sickness and disease and all kind of illness. And that explains why this nation is number one in the world in obesity and disease and sickness. And we've been led to the slaughterhouse not knowing by practicing what they teach and preach.
Yeah.
And I'll close on that.
Yes. Yes. Man, our people are encaved right now. They are sick. They don't know no route out. They have no way, almost nobody to talk to.
They don't.
I'm understanding
No
this.
ally.
This is why I'm not talking to them. I'm helping you understand how to
Open the eyes.
believe yourself.
Yeah,
Because this is a time where all have been lied and deceived.
yes. It's the last day of 2023.
And then if you don't know you've been deceived, you ain't even entered in the truth yet.
But that's our problem, right there. Their problem. That they don't know they've been deceived.
Right. You don't know you entered in the truth yet.
That's what it is.
The truth knows when it has been deceived.
That's right.
So meaning when you have two selves, this is the highest wisdom to ever come into existence. This is why the holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, was the closest that brought this to this present moment.
That's right.
Because he said holy and divine instructions.
That's what he said.
I'm paying close attention.
That's what he said.
He said national and divine movement.
That's what he said.
He used the word divine in a time where you wasn't supposed to be, and that wasn't supposed to be on your mind.
That's right.
Now, this comes down to someone paying attention. And he said that you should not only know the truth, you should know the divine truth. Now, this is a man that came in 1900s.
Yeah.
And we in 2023, and we have not even heard most preachers to elders to teenagers to adults say any of the word divine.
No, they don't say it. They don't say it.
Which means the whole beginning point is missing.
Yeah.
Mark gets set, go, and we still at the start. We still at the start line. And it's been 2,000 years past.
Yes, indeed.
We've yet to move off the starting line.
Yes, indeed.
We've been waiting on God. And we don't know what God is.
That's the trap.
And instead of saying we don't know what God is, we act, remember that's being, we act like God, we know what God is. And now that's why we have been in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
And now it has to be cleansed and clean.
Yeah.
For us to see mentally, crystally.
Crystal clear.
This was the point of why we reading about when the great sister said the source, the well of all form.
All form, meaning and root.
Now, Jesus, this is where all he was talking about. This is where it all coming together. Now we have a timeline, and we're using Jesus as the common link word that link all people to this word.
Yeah.
You have heard of the word Jesus.
Yeah.
So Jesus now always talked about, he didn't call him God.
He did.
He called him Father.
He sure did.
He said, our Father, not our God.
That's what he said.
So a student is studious. They study. So to study is to study. So that action tells you that, okay, someone is mixing. So me, myself, got to get to the purity of what is the meaning.
Yeah.
So when we come to God, the more clearer meaning is the Father. When you go into Father, that got more translation to ancient cosmology.
Yeah.
The whole Egyptian system was an ancient cosmology.
Right on.
that we didn't know. We thought it was
Just
polytheistic,
hieroglyphs and all that, yeah.
or people that didn't know, like Egyptologists,
Yeah.
calling it polytheistic. They
Yeah.
worship many names, many gods.
Yeah.
That is not true. It's a cosmology, meaning it's a mathematics to it. So many comes with a number.
That's
So
right.
there's a number that is exact. This is why things could be built, because exactness exists.
Right on. Right in exact.
So this is the knowledge they knew,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kept and preserved in the land that was called Kemet. Through this word right here, this is the real name of Kemet.
Right on.
It's called Ha-Kim-It.
Look at that.
And everyone knows that this is the place of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And this place of wisdom, this is the divine law. This is why the word Ha-Heka and the word Ha-Ki means similar. See, and if we understand tones, as the beautiful sister was reminding, this is where we can get into our beautifulness of the tones once we can get out of all this false teaching. That it must be beautiful. This is what tones are. Tones are beautiful.
They are.
They illustrate the beauty of everything.
That's right.
We supposed to be singing more than
Right on.
doing what we doing.
Yeah, right
It's supposed to be sounding harmonic,
That's right.
rhythmic,
That's
rhyming,
right.
and we're supposed to be very rhythmic. But speaking English for so long, we have been damaged. So it's a lot of work for all of us to do to clean ourselves up.
Right on.
And we need to understand what Jesus was pointing to now. Now we finna get to the real deal sign. Father, that well, that's the source.
The
The
well
Father.
of all forms.
Yes, the well. Mimi said you drank from this well,
you thirst not.
you thirst not. Meaning it's eternal.
Beautiful.
Meaning it can never run dry.
Oh, yes.
So this is the well of eternity. Remember, we went the tree of life, which is the source of the all-knowing.
Yes,
We working into the great.
Yes, indeed. Can I say this right quick? When we speaking of the well that eternal and won't dry up, all I could think about that they saying now that the Euphrates River is drying up. The Jordan River is drying up. My point is we turning to the wrong rivers in the wrong well. We need to turn to the well of eternity, the water that never dries up, the river that never dries up.
That's right.
And that's that truth, the source, the real source.
And it never dried up. People turn their hearts away from the truth.
Yeah.
They rather live a lie than accept the truth. And this is why the disease and the destruction we have. These are everybody that has turned away from the truth and agreed with to live the lie, called the American dream. Forget the divine law and live the American dream.
Yeah.
This is how they bathed us and brainwashed us in filth. So the flag correlate to the God, the Constitution correlate to the God.
Spangled Banner, Pledge Allegiance. Come on with it.
Most people say who created the world correlate to God. So this word God is what they call magic. See, this is where we have to be very careful. In ancient scholarship belonging in Egyptian times, this was called Heka, Heka. I pulled a little picture image of
Heka, Heka.
that is meaning they got figures to everything, but that's the imagery.
Look at that.
of that they left. They carved this for us to know. So that's the ancient word. You don't hear this word no more. And when you do hear it, you're going to hear it like this. H-E-K-A. Where it's H-A-K-A. Now, you're going to see it. They're going to always in English associate that word, which is the most powerful word, with God and magic, which is going to swoop all our people's minds.
Oh, that's what it has.
This is why the Sufian has to present itself.
No wonder it was in bad shape.
Because this knowledge was known, but now in this time it's unknown. So in order for something to come from unknown to known, knowledge is born. So the knowledge that was born is that the divine law is what the true word that this word means in ancient time, Heka. They say this is the word of power. This is what you get when the Freemason word, law's word, and the Masonic law of Hiram Abiff, getting hit in the throat and losing the word. This is the word that was lost.
Oh boy, look at him.
So as you see, it's Allah Ha-Ka. And there's so many ways I can play this and how this come out into your reality, but we got to get through the lesson. And that's why, yes,
that makes so much.
It's so much we can do in public. But when we're talking about, this is what Jesus was talking about and why he's called the Ha-Mashiach. So all this relates, and it comes back to the form of the Christ. Now we got to understand quickly the Christ. The Christ is what we got to understand the new word today. It's two words that we have to understand to transmit this whole reality. The first word, Christ Allah. This is one word. Christ Allah. This is one word. This represents your body. Your body is the Christ. And Allah is the arm, leg, arm, head that created all that was, is, and to ever be. Then the second word is Sufian. Allah Sufian. Sufian. This is what your whole inside is. This is the subtle point where this word comes from. Yes. This is contained the infinite self. The divine self is the Sufian. So when one knows himself, he becomes a Christ Allah.
Beautiful.
This is what they call a son of God. Every star, 5 points, is a Christ. Stars are crystals. Christ Allah. The 5 and 5, the woman and the man, come together, making the divine 10. And on the spiritual plane, which we know down here as the sexual plane.
Beautiful.
These things exist all simultaneously. But this is why Ha-Ka has been the hidden word from all secret society and from all humanity, because this relates us back to the divine law and it brings us back to Christ the law. So now that that's been known now, you are the walking crystal in matter. And after the crystal, after you put the Christ down, you're going to birth into the Sufian. This is where all the heavens open up to. This is where all the prophets are. This is where every divine being is. This is what the angels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the Ophanim, all worship. The 24 elders all worship this this reality called the Sufian, the Al-Sufian or Al-Sufian or Al-Sufian. So now as we continue, that's going to give the meaning and rule to everything that comes into existence. This ain't a book. This is a understanding. And the book is showing the understanding.
That's beautiful.
The beginning point. The beginning point from which all lesser law manifests.
Look at that.
Allah is the one true and only divine creator. The first law is divine law, and so the law of Allah. Allah is the divine creator of all things, the collection of all words, ideas, and form. There is nothing greater.
STOP. Can we please?
Did we get that?
Because these are the mysteries that have been hidden from the public's view.
Sure have the first law, and they don't even say nothing about no divine law at all.
At all. That word is not in the Bible. Divine law is not in the Bible. And we have a source on the screen that predates the Bible.
Yeah.
And so that word shows it could have been included in the Bible. So now we know that it was a plot and plan.
A plot and a plan. A plot and a plan. And you know what, son? I was sitting there dwelling in the spirit heavily, and I got to thinking about what the Sufian said. It said this, that no man is a slave unto another man. And all you see is the Goodbye Uncle Tom, which is a movement that they promoted slavery, and they preached that from the pulpit, that you shall be a slave and be in a foreign land, and you shall be afflicted. All I could think about was the translators and the writers writing that in there so you can become that. And that's what they have done with that King James Version. They wrote that, and now we got to become that, and now we got to live that. And that's in the back of our head that we were born, you done heard this, we were born slaves and always been a slave. That's a lie. How can the indigenous people, who was the remnant of peoples of the land, when there wasn't no slave, and now all of a sudden, everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, you're slavery. And by the way, you hollering about presidents and kings, them no good son of a gun. Why would they have a slave when I just told you that the super said no man is a slave unto another man? If you have a slave, then you're the devil himself. And George Washington was the devil himself, their forefather, who hoped and put all this together, which is the Constitution, and all this mess that's going on and afflicting our people today. I gotta say it. Because we talking about the law. We talking about the rules. We're talking about the truth and the divine law. And why you don't hear that word divine? Because it's been omitted, just like my song said, and they don't want you to know this.
And yes, I just hope all will consider, the truth of the wisdom that's being delivered. I mean, because this is deep mental oppression, and y'all don't know the youth is really feeling this heavier than any generation felt it, because it's been passed on to them through the genetics.
Indeed.
And no one figured this out. Now that what you just said, this is why it has to be said, all that. It comes from the books. The books have made y'all enslave yourself.
That's right. Because you believe that mess.
Because you believe what's in the book.
Yeah.
And even though it's falsehood in the book, you don't stand against it. You accept it.
That's
and
right.
You accept all of it.
That's right.
So that means now when you accept God, you accept the Holy Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So the Holy Bible is when you say slave or slavery. Slavery exists in the Bible. If y'all must ain't read it.
I read it.
Then one should know who read it, that slavery is in the Bible.
That's right.
Now, I can bring out many stories. Joseph was sold. So that's the beginning of it all.
Thank you.
So when we're talking about who sold him, his own brothers.
Yeah.
So now when we're talking about understanding family, it ain't got nothing to do with blood and kin. It's got to do with nature and being. Your own kin will sell you out. This is what was going down in the past. Now they're doing it more clever. This is why nobody heard the word. Because you've been part of the soul sellout.
Thank you.
And then I'm saying it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's public. It's over. All y'all keep selling yourself out.
Yeah.
But this voice right here will not and will let others get an opportunity to at least help themselves to make a better decision.
Mm-hmm. Number 9 says the collection of all words, ideas, and forms. If you didn't write the words to the Constitution, if you didn't write the words to the legislature, and that was come from somebody's idea who wants to put words into place and now make it a legality and a legislature, and the last process is a bill to pass, and then they go votes on it. Just look at the game they playing on us, man. You ought to be sick to your stomach if you're any kind of spiritual being. Allow this to happen to you.
It's a lot going on.
It is.
It's
a lot of wrong going on.
And you got to fix your brain, because your brain going to speak this.
Yeah.
You
and
can't
that
help
because it's a collection of words.
I'm trying to tell you, it's deeper than that. You just read it.
Yeah.
And people just reading it. You got to understand. That's what I'm saying. You can't just, it ain't about, when this book closed, do you understand life when you walk outside? This is what I'm talking about. If we don't understand life, you don't understand why you here yet. And if you don't understand the divine, this ain't got nothing to do with words. If that's the case, the Son will be speaking it all day. It's showing you. It's being it.
Yeah.
It's about divine law, being it. So when we're talking about slavery, this is why we have to bring back to the Bible. Everybody who call themselves a today Christian accept slavery.
They do.
And they even hire slaves. They may use better words like employees. Or they might use better words like taxpayers. But we're talking about what it was called and what it is. It is what it is. What's the reality of that action? And it's slavery. Now, how do you prove that? You open up Old Testament, slavery is in there. You open up the New Testament, slavery is in there.
That's correct.
So if you calling yourself by this book, that means you are guilty just as charged. And this is what all our people have been guilty of. Either for accepting that filth or not reading and then agreeing to something you never read. You and yourself is guilty, not newborns who was born away from that. They didn't get touched, but people are touching them with these spiritual spirits, like God. Devil, you touching spirits with spirits. But we don't know what this stuff really is, and it's damaging our community. We don't have customs to separate so many black on black crime of negativity. I call it black on black negativity.
Yeah, that's what that is.
So now what you were just saying now, this is why not only the Christians guilty, the Muslims are guilty. This is why I don't side with either. Because I find fault in both.
Right on.
So I don't go by either of those titles. I go by Sufian.
Right on.
Now, that's what both of those, if they was to follow the right path, that's what it would look like, a Sufian.
Right on.
Now, what the Muslim does, this is how he trickery in his trickery. And this is how they both work together on one planet.
Yeah, three-headed monster.
Yes, this is how they work together. When people become and join the Holy Quran, the book, because they just join from one book. They don't join Islam, they join the Holy Quran and Hadith. The Holy Quran is a Hadith. So just like the Bible, it's a Hadith. So all these things people worship. Writings from men and not making them and making yourself anywhere a self-measuring stick. Like you can just read about them and then leave yourself out. So where do you have your own measuring stick to now measure yourself? That's what them books was for. So you can measure yourself. Know how to treat a woman so you will know how to treat yourself. Know how to treat yourself so you will know how to treat a woman. All this came into the text. It's called the divine law. But we have been misconstrued by people making false claims. They have said a lot over these 100 years. And we ain't seen a lot. And we seen less than what was said in 100 years. Now it's been up to 400 years. But speeding up now, the name they give you when you follow the Quran, they call you Abdullah. Abdullah. Everyone mostly be called Abdullah or Abdullah. And people just accept this. See, to have someone else name you, you have to be a fool. Your mama named you. And you don't change what's that for somebody you don't even know, didn't even born, and they just gonna say they this and you don't know they whole reality. And then you, man, that's what I'm saying. This is how so much got to be resolved and cleaned up. But I'm finna bring to proof that word Abdullah means slave. How many people you know have the name Abdullah?
That's right.
That word Abdullah means slave. So once again, that go to slave narrative. You got it in the Bible, then you got it in the Quran. So now when we're talking about if Allah do not permit slavery, then both of those books are false.
That's what I thought.
And that's reality. And then if you're looking at truth, can you accept truth? If all your life you've been pressed upon this ideology of belief, you will feel like you're going against your whole family, your whole world. But see, this is what truth is. Truth stand alone. It don't need liars and falsehood.
Yeah.
Y'all already got what's coming to y'all.
Right on.
This just to help. If
Right.
you got it in you by now to have your heart and to lean and come to truth, all of the truth.
Yeah.
Because this is what the world is scared of.
Yeah.
They scared of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so now this is what the world now got to hear. They got to hear that it's most worse because they didn't accept it when it was not worse. Mm-hmm. Now it done got to the point where it's too filthy and the truth is too pure for this filth. And how people is engulfed in these beliefs of self-sacrifice. Yeah. Where they are willing to bring themselves to lying, living a lie, dying a liar, telling a lie, spreading a lie. Yeah. This is filth. Yeah. And now we are understanding, as I'm for the screen. Mm-hmm. So we bring the truth. Mm-hmm. 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 There you go, right there. Abdullah. Mm-hmm. Short, ABD. Mm-hmm. See, if they gave it to you like this and you happen to look it up, then that's what you will find. And they know you got a brain, so you know ain't nothing linking with slavery. So they give you Abdullah. Mm-hmm. 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 See, and this is what Hiram Abiff.
Mm-hmm. So now, listening to that and hearing that, now you see the trap that's being set because with the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran in the Kingdom Hall, I've seen them books turn family members against each other by their words and the ideas of the translator that they put in there. For example, they said that the woman can't even speak, that she got to remain silent. That's what the Bible said. And then I've seen that the Kingdom Hallers with Jehovah, and if he ain't a witness, they won't even fool with you. I've seen them turn people against their own mother who gave birth to them. And they won't even socialize with the mother because they ain't become a witness. Now, this is the kind of sickening that's out there in this society, in this world today, right now, as I speak.
And both of them are branches of Christianity.
That's right.
And that's what I'm saying. Muslims and Christians got to be corrected.
Both of them.
Because they both have been destroyed by the Jews. This is who playing tricks on both of them.
That's correct.
That's who brought forth the Bible. So when we're talking about ancient sorcery, we're talking about ancient sorcery updated to its finest. Yeah. Where people believe in supernatural things and don't know what none of this stuff is. And in your heart, you know you don't know. Because I knew I didn't know. That's why the search begun. Well. So in their heart, this whole people are just walking as if they know. Yeah. So that show you they hard-hearted or stone-hearted. Yeah. This is what it's mean in the script. It's talking about liars. When you are a liar, you can't accept the truth. You can't. So now the world is infested with liars.
There you go.
So now it ain't about family. It ain't about kin. It ain't about none of that. It's about, do you honor truth? Yeah. If you dishonor truth, you don't honor the Creator. Mm-hmm. A liar ain't going to heaven, and that's facts.
That's right.
And if you want to dirty your soul by laying with a fool, believing with a fool, salting with a fool,
right on.
That's up to you. That's why I have my own existence. You have your own existence. Yeah. Separate from he, she, they, any other one. Yeah. So if you have your own existence, then that is the truth. And if you don't decide to seek greater truth,
Right on. Divine truth, right on.
Which you will come to find out,
Mm-hmm.
which this is why it's now has been
Mm-hmm.
brought forth. Divine, everything has to be on the divine level.
Beautiful.
So as she just read about, now every word we read from the Bible to the Quran to the Bhagavad Gita to the Book of the Dead
Mm-hmm.
and the many pyramid texts, if none of them speak about divinity, then it's not speaking about the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
Because it tells us the collection of all words.
That's what it said.
That's the Bible. Ideals and form.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing greater.
Mm.
And that's where the Quran comes in. They want to do the same thing, except tell you that Allah is to be worshipped through Muhammad.
Mm.
This is where the whole thing comes, just like the whole Christianity thing.
Mm.
That you can only get to the Creator through a man.
Yeah.
So in the Christianity, they want you to worship Jesus, the man.
Yeah.
To get to the Father.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to worship in the Quran. They want you to worship Muhammad to get to Allah. Both of these things are worship of man.
Mm-hmm.
The Creator said, don't ever worship a man. And the true Sufian said, never to worship me as I was the greatest or the least.
That's right.
And if you don't mention Allah in the same breath,
yeah,
then you do me no honor.
Yeah.
So now when we saying things that is so-called in Arabic, we have to be very, very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because Arabic ain't what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as English, but even more high grade. It's more advanced than English. Mm. You see how good English got the black people.
Yeah.
Don't get into Arabic.
That's right.
You talking about really, this is why what I'm bringing forth ain't written in Arabic or nothing like that. I don't do no Arabic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I'm talking about this is clear cut, non-Arabic. This is tones in our language that was from the Torah that they spoke in ancient times. Mm. This got to do with tones. Yeah. And word as in the language. Mm. But everything that is written, this doesn't belong to Arabic. This is what the fool's gold has believed in. So this is why everything has to be cleaned up when it comes to the divine law, because nothing is greater. No book, especially. Mm. So now people worship books more than the divine law. That's right. This is what I'm getting to. Mm-hmm. Now people are worshiping books more than they worship divine law.
That's right. That's so true.
Now divine law has to be the first, as we read. That's the first God. Mm-hmm. Divine law is the first God. Mm-hmm. Divine law what created heaven and created earth. Right on. So we must understand what is our job? We must become a divine mind. Right on. Through a divine will. Right on. And this will equal you as your divine self.
Right on. I just want to point out two things right quick. This how we know that they have captured our mind and got us bound down. When the Vatican came over here, people would, as though he was Jesus Christ, they were falling down on their knees, bound down to the Pope, a European, wearing a white robe. We go to England, King Charles, they bow down to him. I'm just showing you the sickness that's going on. They bow down to another man, but they won't bow down to the divine creator, what created. The Pope and King Charles didn't create the sun and the moon, nor give us holy breath. If anything, they'll take it away.
Right. But everything, that's why I'm trying to help whoever want to be helped to understand where that sorcery began. If you don't know where it began, you ain't got no answer. The greatest thing we should learn out of this lesson, from at least if we have been in this lesson, it's something that we should learn from this lesson. And that's what I have done for myself. I have sat back and just said from this lesson of being lied to, and some things you was a part of the lie.
Yeah.
Not knowing the truth. You become part of the lie.
That's it.
And so certain things is still part of it.
And that's it.
And so if you really don't know the truth, you still a part of the lie. It's not until you know all the truth until you can get rid of the lie. And so now when we're speaking about all of that, they bowing down to the same thing that why the people are over here waiting on God. And that come from if we really sit back and we say, what is the thing that's really making us wait? What is it that's really this powerful that's keeping us from
waiting?
Yeah, just waiting
on Jesus.
And we stop seeking.
Sure do. We sure do.
It's because of this. Most people have made truth their belief. Everybody you just said that hold the king in position, a position of authority, the people believe in them.
Sure do.
So that's what I mean. It's a belief. Y'all, for some reason, y'all believe in that God that they gave y'all. Y'all won't let them go. That's how powerful. And it's just to all. This, you have to let it go. This is the belief is just that strong. You see, people are bowed down to a man. But over here, we bow down to a belief instead of the truth. And this is why it's telling you the law is the great belief. Because the law is the truth. You believe in the truth. If you believe in truth, you will never go wrong. And this is what we should learn from practicing wrong Christianity. That belief is the most powerful. Through belief alone, they have enslaved us in the thought pattern of Christianity. Long as God included, we felt safe. We must agree. If the word God was said, we felt safe. This is what an open heart will do to you when you accept truth and not go against truth. This is where all of us is equal, as she finna begin back reading, because nothing is greater than this right here.
Thus all law must come from the divine and Allah, as all the words of law are born from the Creator. A law is a rule given from divine instruction, discovery, or reason of nature. The existence of such laws are self-evident by the existence of the wisdom that frames them. Divine law is the law that defines the spirit, purpose, and instruction of Allah through existence. The key of all divine law is the golden rule, that all are equal under the law of Allah and subject to it.
Okay, could we STOP?
They don't believe in equality.
Raise the ethers. Bring your voice.
Mm-hmm.
This how important divine law is.
Mm.
Divine law is the wisdom that frames all existence. So we have now came to the conclusion that the most powerful thing Christianity has taught us, and the blessing from the lesson, is that belief is the most powerful tool.
That's right. It said
for good or for evil.
That's right. Greatest weapon. That's what it said in this.
Because they believe over there physically and they bound down.
Sure do.
We believe in the belief alone over here, and we bound down.
And we bound down and looking to cap of the hill from whence our help cometh. That's right.
This is why belief is the greatest weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't a missile. It ain't an atom bomb being split.
Yeah.
It's belief.
Yeah. And we keep running to the voting poll on belief alone, believing that the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, that whoever gonna get it, win the presidency, is gonna help us. Right. We believe in a wrongful system.
Right, but I don't want to go too, because
go ahead.
It's a good thing. I'm telling us to observe the goodness that came from
instead of the bad.
Right. That means now you can take your belief back and power it up to something that's truthful now.
Right on.
Now you can believe in the truth. Now that shit click. You've been believing in the falsehood, the lie, and look where the lead.
Yeah.
Now what about you having a belief in the truth? This is where everybody can now be cleansed and repented from turning to the truth. Not only from them, but to yourself. No longer lying to yourself.
Right on.
You have a heart that's recording everything.
Right on.
It knows. This is what it means. The truth knows your heart. Right on. So you can't lie to truth. So this is the point that we're making. This is the most grandy understanding, and this is how we know we should have known. Because everybody can say they heard the word golden rule. Have anyone heard the word golden rule?
Oh, yes.
You know the golden rule.
We have.
See, they told us the golden rule, but they didn't perfectly repeat it. They paraphrased it. They rephrased it. What was the golden rule?
Treat others as you like to be treated as someone.
There you go. See? Treat others like you would like to be treated. See how a woman, that's all a woman needed to know her whole life. And she was good. But see, we done came to a point where we done forgot the golden rule. And see, what she just said, that's what they told us. But see, that shows they knew of the real golden rule, which is divine law. And what she just read on 16. Could you read 15 and 16 again?
I missed it.
15.
The key.
And then take this back to school.
The key of all divine law is the golden rule.
Look at there.
That all
they told us one, but didn't tell us the other. How come? How? Why did they tell us about golden rule, but they didn't tell us why did they leave out divine law?
That was omitted.
See, this is purpose. Can y'all believe it? I mean, this is where the struggle's gonna come. To fight your own belief, because they have taken over people's souls with deep belief. That's how you do it with the trickery. And as the next line comes, this is the divine law right here.
Oh,
number 16 is the divine law.
That all are equal under the law of Allah and subject to it.
Look at that. And subject to it.
Now imagine everybody knowing that growing up.
Yeah.
You knew the golden rule, but you didn't know the golden rule was that all are equal. Not just only treat others Because that's part of the Sufi. That's what makes you a Sufian.
Yeah.
Treating others as you expect yourself to be treated. Divine law, all. It don't start with some. It start with all are equal. So they put under the law of God. See, this is where it starts. This is why we got to understand. This is where the sorcery begins. You don't have to change anything. Why change? This predated the 1611 version. Why change? To take souls into deep belief and have your mind salvaged by other men and not by the Creator.
Yeah. And gotta.
That's it right there. See, every soul is subject to the law of Allah. Not the divine law. Did we catch this now? This is the divine law, that all are equal under the law of Allah. Under. What did they teach y'all? Our pledges of allegiance to the United
States of America. Look at that.
Under. Matter of fact,
Under they golden rule. Within, when we look at the word equal, within why the melanated people, the Negro had to take to the street and march. Justice and equality. Equal is the same word as equality, but we were denied of equality. And still, if you fast forward today, you see the same old game being played out upon you, because he don't have equality to give you. If anything, he got a fence around you and deny you all of that. That's why he got a Department of Justice for you to come. The crook has a department.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. All that's going to be keep repeating, and that's known. What we need to know is why. I'll keep trying to tell everyone, and you keep calling on God. That comes with the Bible. Everything that you are saying and will say comes from the Bible. A judge ain't in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's who's going to do everything, going to sentence.
Yeah.
So when we talking about y'all are agreeing to contracts to now be under men. It don't matter what you think. The truth is truth. And you haven't known truth until. And so let me read to you what y'all have agreed to. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Let me repeat that. I do not, me speaker as the speaker, I do not, I'm reading verbatim. This statement says, I pledge of allegiance. It's telling you, this is your individual self saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag.
This is a material square, a flag, and then it says of the United States of America and to the republic. So 3 things like the Holy Trinity, to a flag, and then the flag is to the United States. So the United States of America, and it's to the republic. Then it says, for which it stands one nation under God.
There go God again.
This is y'all favorite word. This is y'all favorite word, especially in the black community. This is y'all favorite word. God and Jesus is your favorite word. I done heard it long enough.
Me too. Me too.
I've been sitting quiet, listening.
Yes.
Long years.
Yeah, that's
and this is what everybody has to say.
That's right.
They don't know the truth. They say they know God.
That's right.
See, what we're saying is this is all clever word change. So now all the people's souls are under a flag of the United States and to the Republic.
Yep.
3 things before you get to being under something else. Then you under God. Now God is not his real name. So now what you putting yourself under? The divine law says under the law of Allah, all are equal. Then it says, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Everything, making receiving no justice. That one, remember they playing the science. One nation means all. One self, one all.
Yeah.
Now they made themselves the all and made everybody else excluded.
That's right.
So now they under the divine law, but you're not. You under their law.
Yeah.
That's what they call the priesthood or the priestcraft, or politically called statecraft.
Yeah.
They craft your state of mind. This is why in the degrees, the Masonic secret society is called the same thing. You have all that play out. Because all that'll lose my mind, because I don't hold that in my mind. It comes up and it shoots out. And so when it comes, this is what has been hidden. ALLAH. This is older than what we think. And I know for a fact it's older than all your generations that came to existence. And now that we have the answer to the golden rule, now it ain't up to the system. I mean, the system ain't gonna, it's up to your heart.
Right on.
And how you gonna live.
Right on.
This ain't got nothing to do with them or they. This got to do, is your heart.
Right on.
I am for truth and not against truth.
That's right.
Natural law defines the operation of the will of Allah through existence in the form of the world.
Look at that.
Therefore, a competent man recognizes divine law not simply as he has been told, but that he can see and reason to some of the logic and mind of the divine creator.
Nah, this is where we gotta just keep it simple as it is. Now, it's only 2 laws, divine law and natural law, and these both cannot be written down. These come from the mind. So how can someone write down on the square and write every law in nature?
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as the law that we claim it don't exist. There's only 2 laws exist. Showing us the right hand and the left hand.
Right on.
One exists because
See it and bear witness to the existence. And we ain't created none of this that we behold.
but we following men like they the creator.
Robert rule of law.
Right. And this is going against the truth.
Yeah.
This ain't got nothing to do with them. This got to do with heart.
Yeah.
If you're not honest with yourself and get to truth. This happens because right, you being honest with yourself. This is how I get to the Al-Sufian. I'm being honest, like, no, these books ain't answering. They ain't got the deep answer to the heart that the heart is seeking for. The Bible won't complete. It didn't complete my heart. The Quran didn't complete my heart. Any holy text I read, they didn't. what I was led to. This ain't even been in existence until it came into existence. So this is what Muhammad, whose name was Sufian, this is what we have to understand. It has nothing to do, Muhammad is not his real name. This is just like how they made Jesus Christ. They've been doing this for a long time, making people worship man. And so this is why we have to understand the truth. It makes sense. This is why it says what she read, logic. It's all logical. What I have said is all logical. It ain't no supernatural event that you got to go build a spacecraft for and go into the space to find. It's right here in your heart. Natural law and divine law.
20. Yet a law made by man can never be greater than a natural law or divine law. Nor can laws made by men ever be greater than a dictate or decree that gains legitimacy to the extent it does not contradict divine law and natural law and possesses the consent of the people.
Man, like, I had to study that line for a while. It's telling us that no matter what if man made the law, it can agree with divine law, it can agree with natural law, and it can have the consent of all the people. It still don't make it greater than what the Creator created.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
This is how foolish. Right, and the consent of the people, just like people agree with the Chamber of Commerce or the bicameral Chamber of Legislation.
Yeah.
Same thing. Just as they agree with that, they saying that these laws are better than the Creator laws. That's what they've been telling. That's why they've been doing.
That's right.
To us.
That's right.
So now, this is why they didn't never want us to know. This is why they said, "Oh, let me pull it up. Let me just pull because I'm online in public."
And when they get consent from the people places, they're making all the decisions. When they get finished, they back up, dump it out on us. And when we don't even have to accept nothing that they made, not do. And this where we gotta wake up and rise up and stop accepting that mess that they load up on the dump truck.
We gave consent when we said it was okay to put one person from each place to represent a whole until they little Senate or Congress.
Yeah.
And that's what the consent was. We said okay to a system like that. They don't have to talk to the people.
Look at that.
We saying that one person is our collective majority.
Our collective mind.
Yeah. He go the president and
his truth out. You doomed. Because that's gonna stay. What she just said.
Yeah,
that's gonna stay. And guess what? You're gonna be a follower of it. Just like you ain't changed nothing. Change nothing. Keep playing with the truth.
See,
everybody want to say they, them, she. No, it's yourself.
If you
watch how weak. No, just watch when truth really confront how weak you are. Just watch. Just watch how weak when the truth confronts, because that means you gotta confront. You confronting yourself, but first you gotta understand if you've been lied to. Yeah. So if you've been lied to by others,
I would say I've been lied to.
I've been lied to.
Yeah. Instead of like you've been lied to, or you gonna be like it's like you projecting it outwards instead of inward. You gotta say I.
All right. If you've been lied to and you find out that you've been lied to, are you gonna continue?
Yeah, that's what I'm just talking about as far as like taking that responsibility. You're gonna say I will not continue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm the one that's taking the responsibility, so I'm gonna use that pronoun, that word.
Yeah.
Instead of like pointing and saying you or them. Or Because that's what we like. We have a habit of doing that, pointing outside of ourselves. We just speak I. At the end of the day, what are we gonna do? What is?
Oh, I tell you what. Let me publicly say it. I self-law am master. I self-love all me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a liar, don't come near me. Because you can't handle the truth.
But what can I handle?
I am doing what I'm doing right now. Right. This is what I can handle. I know it didn't come to nobody. If it came to you, you'll be bringing it to me. And if it didn't, that means you ain't seeking. So if you ain't seeking, they can have a better decision. This ain't nothing else. One who was alive can have a better decision to make better decision making. Because if you want to go around that route, I'm not going down that route. But what I'm showing you.
They might not be clear. What is it?
It's on the screen. This ain't just speech. It's on the screen. So you'll know what the whole. This is the truth.
This is the truth, the divine law.
This is the time.
Not that others.
I know I've been around a very long time and know most of the world is a liar. And you've been lied to, and so you lied to others. And if you ain't seeking truth, you a liar. Tell me who not. If you ain't seeking truth, tell me that you not.
We are. It's not necessarily intentionally lying. They hypnotize. They are hypnotized, and they coming out of a hypnotization where they not realizing they've been lied to. Now they got a choice to figure out the truth, or to try to go on with the lie. The people going on with the lie, and they don't want to be out. But at the end of the day, our people have been brainwashed and hypnotized for a long period of time.
Magic, God of magic, yes indeed.
These people have been out of their minds, been controlled. Their minds have been controlled for a long period of time.
Long time. Power and control.
Then they finally wake up and they have a little control over their minds.
And nobody woke. I mean,
people
okay, thanks. So
I'm saying they
if you ain't,
that they need
you only awake when you can ride with the truth.
They are realizing that they need to have control over their mind. That's why there are people out here that want knowledge of self. That's why you online giving knowledge of self. If it wasn't any people out here, what would be the purpose of us online? There's people out here that want knowledge of self. We got to stay positive about that because
I want it. I wouldn't care what. This is where self separates itself. I separates itself. I seek. I bring forth. These are my. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all works. Anybody that nothing to do with y'all. This got to do with me and what my works are, and I am bringing them forth for all. This is correct language, precision in speech. No one did this work. If they did, they would be bringing it forth. This is why you have an eye. This is what I mean when truth comes in and live in existence, the world almost can't bear it. Because the same body, same powers, same everything. And if you don't want to agree with the truth that you have these gifts, put them to use, that's where all this evil comes from. This is where evil comes from. This is where jealousy comes from. This is where envy comes from. This is where ignorance comes from. Because you're going to hate. And when you hate the truth, you can never be what you hate. Because you got to love the truth to get on this side. Every person that This is the reason why they fail. The reason why you don't fail. Because you stood. And when you stand on truth, you stand on the Creator's law. And however it is, however it feels, that's the deal with the heart. Because what I had to do, you must do. If you don't, I am not you. My works is your works. So don't ever get that confused in anyone's life, that your works is their works. No, your works is your, bring them to the public when you ready to put work. This is where you show forth who you are. So bring forth your works to all creators in the world. Bring forth your works. This is the divine time, the divine law of 2024. If you a coward, it's going to show. If you not, it's going to show. Everybody's exposed who is against truth. This ain't got nothing to do with me and you. This is for truth. Truth is the witness of all this. Who is on what side? And I'm standing on the side of truth. And that's me closing.
All right, you're on 22.
An unjust decree or dictate by man can never be considered law, even if such threat and force is used. A valid law can be reasoned and argued logically, yet unjust. A faithful man to a law, therefore, protect just law and challenge unjust law. An honorable man before Allah has a solemn duty to defend against injustice and to stamp out tyrants wherever they may be.
All right. That concludes that. Now, after hearing what your ears have just heard, and now that where we've been brainwashed and hypnotized and played, now that we have heard out there in internet land, are you gonna continue to proceed and keep doing and sing along, go along, monkey see, monkey do, and continue pledging allegiance to a flag of the United States of America and the Republican? Are you going to do that and go to their Department of Justice? Or are you going to stop that madness and turn to divine law and natural law, which are only two laws that exist? Are we going to on the Robert Rule of Law or Magnum Carta law? Because this one's been put. What the hell is Robert? I don't know.
All of it still.
They just tell you one name and leave out the other part of the name, but they want your full name. But I on that because now we know.
Yep, now we know.
Now we know, and now we heard. Now, what are we gonna do?
That's what the script said. After you hear the truth, become doers of the word. There you go.
There you go. There you go. Because somebody will hear in their ugly ways, as though they didn't even hear.
That's what I'm saying. If y'all ain't paying attention to the lessons, I'm not talking to people.
Right on. And that's the way it's supposed to.
That's why I'm telling you how it's going to be done.
Living it.
I'm living my own existence. Just like you living your own existence, she living her own existence. Everybody that came before you lived their own existence. Right. And now it's your turn.
Right on.
And so if they don't want to make the best out of their existence by acting like a law going
I don't know.
That's their occupation. But eternal love and KOS to all. We close the Sufian Council meeting.
Beautiful. Beautiful law. Mm-hmm.